All right. So we are live. Let me take these glasses off because I don't like that glare. But yeah, hit me up in the chat. Hit me up in the chat. Subscribe to this channel because we're definitely going to have some real talks and about COVID proofing our careers. And I mean, we got a lot of obstacles to just being black in America, but trying to be black and get into tech, it's a whole nother world. So we just, it's nothing hard. There's nothing to it but to do it. The hardest part about it is just starting and knowing which way to go, because there's a lot going on in tech right now. Things are moving really fast. What's going on? See Nathaniel up in the chat. What is going on? All right, I'm live in here, man. I am live. So it's my first time doing this, but I said I'd rather do it live, so at least I can, get some interaction and see how. I sound all right on here? Let me know if I sound all right. I'll look back later at my first video and we can laugh at it. But yeah, so I got some people coming in here, so I'll wait a little minute. So let these people get in here. Let me share this one more time. But yeah, I have met so many cool, smart people on LinkedIn. So y'all definitely get on LinkedIn, create your LinkedIn page. And yeah, build your network. Build your network. We're gonna build our network as we're building our net worth. Building our network as we're building our net worth. So that's gonna be important. Because we're not gonna be looking for jobs in 2022. Jobs are gonna be looking for us. Cool. I see you in the chat. Sound good. All right. All right, so let some people come in here. Hey, Nathaniel, can you share that? Can you put that link out on Twitter for me? I'm gonna share it out on my Facebook. Let people come in here. But yeah, sorry I'm a little late, y'all. This happy Labor Day. We are all happy to be having this talk right now. So as I do this, I'll get better with my schedule here. And but yeah, we're definitely gonna start having this talk because the community is a lot of talk on Twitter, a lot of talk. People hitting me up on LinkedIn. It's a lot of people transitioning into tech right now, and they want to know which way to go. And we can spend a lot of money trying to figure out which way to go. So, just had a conversation, about these coding boot camps today, and people spending tens and thousands of dollars trying to go to these coding boot camps, which you can learn for free. If you want to be honest, coding is not the first thing you need to learn in tech. If you want to be a developer, that's nice, but coding is not the first thing you need to learn in tech. And I'm going to tell you why. You're not on Twitter yet. What's going on? Hey, come on. Oh, you found me on LinkedIn. Yeah. All right. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, Twitter is a good resource. A lot of smart black people on Twitter um, that are in tech that can give you advice. Um, I mean, just follow. Just follow. You just go hashtag Black Tech Twitter, and you can just go down the line and see who's on there. Um, but they drop a lot of good content on Twitter as well. So definitely leverage that. Um, somebody, one of my mentors told me about and getting on TikTok. All right. So I never thought of that as a social media stream, primarily because they were owned by China. And I'm just thinking like, why are we putting all this stuff on this Chinese application? Um, let's create our, what China does? China copycats off of what we do in America, and then they just do it better and blow it up. We need to follow that business model because we could have easily created a TikTok for our own people. And that's the level, that's the zone I want to think of. That's the zone I want us to be thinking in. Like, let's start creating our own stuff. But until then, we got to use their stuff. So let's use their stuff to leverage our network and learn from all kinds of people. You can learn from me. You can learn from all kinds of people. When I got in the tech game, YouTube was my best friend. I'm going to say that again. When I got in the tech game, YouTube is my best friend. YouTube is still my best friend, but I mean, now that I know how to find other resources, YouTube is not the first go-to. But yeah, when I was studying to get my A+ certification, which is my first certification when I got into tech, and just to go back, so brief history, I came from the food business, so I got into tech about 4 years ago. I currently am a software engineer, a DevOps lead on this project at the company I'm at right now. But I started, from the bottom. Like, I was working at a burger place 4 years ago, and I kind of seen the writing on the wall with all this artificial intelligence and machine learning and automation. Primarily because I pay attention. Some people may watch all kind of crazy stuff on TV. I'm watching CNBC. I'm watching the news. I want to know what's going on. What is going on in this world. And I've been hearing automation for a long time, and that might not scare everybody, but it should, especially our community. And that's something that we got to get on the other side of. We got to get on the other side of it right now, because we don't need a bunch of us being cashiers. Cashiers are going to be automated. Anything that's a repetitive task that can be programmed is going to be automated. And we definitely got to get on the other side of that. So what got me hyped up about getting into tech is I actually seen a robot while I was at this burger place flipping burgers. I seen a robot that can make a burger every 10 seconds on YouTube. And I'm thinking like, okay, I'm over here busting my behind for $12.50 an hour. Got a beg for a 10-cent raise. They gave me a 10-cent raise after I've been there for, a year. A 10-cent raise. And I'm a team lead at this burger place. So I seen this robot that can make a burger every 10 seconds. And I'm like, it's time to make a change. I can't be outside protesting for $15 an hour. When there's something I can do about it right now. So I did something about it right now. And like most people do, you don't know which way to go. So a lot of us, we're going to enroll in school. We're going to find some kind of school. And I almost got sucked into the coding boot camp. I'm not even going to lie, y'all. I mean, especially they'll, advertise, they'll make it sound good too. I mean, I don't know. They find you on your Facebook page and everything. So don't feel bad for getting in these boot camps, but they definitely got some tactics. And then as I see people come out on the other side of that boot camp, and as I see how my journey has went, and I just primarily self-taught myself, but let me show you how I got to that point. Um, so I enrolled in this. I enrolled in this technical school. I didn't go to boot camp. I found this technical university. They had like a 2-year information technology program. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go do that. Now I'm already doing my research. And one thing I will say, we got some more people coming in here. Yeah, they will automate the customer service job. You sure? You're right about that. Um, Not if I can get some data on how many of us have customer service type jobs. Um, yeah, and customer service is a transferable skill. So, I had some people ask me, what skills are transferable to tech? Customer service, retail. Like I said, I came from the food business, so I was good speaking with people. I mean, you're solving problems. So if you're good at solving problems, you're gonna be all right. Don't nobody be scared to get in tech. Like nobody. I got in at 38 too, so I didn't know. I wasn't no computer nerd in school. I had. I've been working on computers since I was 10 years old. No, it's nothing like that. Like I came out the gutter just like a lot of other people did. Didn't know which way to go. Didn't went to college one year, messed that up. Had to come back home. Got locked up, this and that. You're just getting in. Your kid trouble. When you're young and not really knowing which way to go. Which is definitely why I want to make it my mission now to get to these kids young. We got to get to these kids in high school. And let them know about these opportunities before they start making dumb decisions like I did. Because the thing about it, like when I came out of high school, that's when Amazon actually started as a bookstore. Just think about that. So, during that time, while I'm working at these food service jobs, um, people are becoming millionaires, just knowing about tech. So it's time for us to know about tech so we can become millionaires too. Um, so, like I said, I went to that. I went to this technical university, right, called Hallmark. Um, 2 years. I get there, and now they give you opportunity to get the A plus, the Network Plus, and the Security Plus for free. Um, so after the first couple of classes, I was able to take the A plus. Now let me tell you about this A plus. I took, whew, man. If you want to talk about one certification that I hated out of all my certifications, let me just let you know. I have the A plus, the Security Plus. I have all three AWS associates, the solutions architect, the SysOps administrator, and the developer certification. I have Azure fundamentals, and I have an Agile certification. That A plus certification was the worst one. Number one, because I haven't taken an exam in a long time. Number two, because it's two tests. It's two tests. So even after you pass that first test, you still haven't done anything. You got to pass the second test. I had to take that first. Um, I had to take that first test 3 times before I passed it. I had to take the second test, part of the A plus, 2 times before I passed it. Now I'm already knowing, and this is 4 years ago. I'm already knowing about the cloud, but they're not saying anything about the cloud in school. Now I'm looking at this school like, okay, um, after I go $26,000 in debt, you know, am I gonna still have to teach myself what's going on in the business world? Because you know, on my end, I'm hearing about the cloud, and in school, they're not. You're teaching me how to mess with hardware. That's nice to be able to understand everything, but let me be honest. I've been in tech for 4 years, and I have never. Well, I take that back. I take that back. Okay, I did replace some RAM in a laptop, but like you're not going to be breaking open computers and fixing stuff. I mean, if you're a handyman like that, and that's a job that you want to pursue, that's definitely a route you can go. But that's not the route I would advise. Like we are turning into a software defined world. So you want to be thinking software all day, every day. What can I just do on my laptop and change the world? Um, and yeah, so they were still teaching these old technologies, A plus, and when you're new in tech, it's kind of a path that I don't know if it's. I'm sure more. I'm not the only one that found this path, but it's normally a path that they want you to follow. They want you to get the A plus. They want you to get the network plus. They want you to get the security plus. Then they want you to get your CCNA. Then you can, kind of branch out from there and figure out which way you want to go. Um, and I thought that was, well, that's what they told me was the right road. Um, it's probably not the right road for us. Um, Number one, time is money. Number two, time is of the essence. Um, that 3 months, that it took me to get the A plus, don't get me wrong, like it helped me get my first job, but it's just an entry level job. Honestly, I went from my burger place to which I was making $12.50 an hour at, to another technical support job making $12.50 an hour with the A plus. And the reason why I did that is because after I got my A plus, I actually tried to transfer to the corporate office of the company that I was working for as a desktop support position. And let me tell y'all, you're gonna get a lot of no's. Like, and some people may not even call you back. And this job that I was working, this burger place I was working at, which I was a team lead, helped open this new store. All the while, and this is a busy store. Like I'm talking about, like we doing over 100,000 a week. We're open up, selling burgers. So it was busy. But during that, I got my A plus. I'm like, okay, I can stick with this company because I already been with them for a year and a half. Let me just keep my benefits and try to, transfer to their corporate office. I was already talking to a brother down there, and he kind of motivated me to go that route. Had 2 interviews. Now they brought 4 people in the room to interview me, and this was a position where I didn't even have to have a certification. Like it was like you had to get the A plus in 90 days or something. They had 4 people interview me 2 times and never call me back. No, I'm flipping burgers. I'm flipping burgers in the restaurant. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to corporate office. Got my A plus. Never call me back. So I'm not. Don't stay at these jobs, y'all. Don't stay at these jobs that aren't going to take care of us. Okay, that is one thing I noticed, um, especially about our generation. We're not loyal to these companies. Um, if they're not going to treat you right, and your mental is not going to be right, you don't see any growth. Get out of there. Get out of there quick. So I got out of there. Um, But one thing I noticed, from transitioning into tech from the food business, is that I'm looking at my resume and I got a bunch of food service jobs. So as I'm applying for these jobs, they're looking at my last job, and that's what they're gonna do. Like these companies, they're gonna look at, okay, you want to be a desktop support or you want to be a technical support, okay, you know, your last job, you were, waiting tables. Um, you you just got to create a story, um, and an easy way to do that is to get a certification. Um, trying to transfer into a different career without a certification is going to be rough. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's going to be um, it's going to be a little harder. So definitely get a certification. That's one thing I could say about the A plus. At least, since I didn't know what way, to go, at least that got me a job. But I had to drop out of school after that because I had to go to work. Like once I realized they weren't going to teach me anything about the cloud, I realized I was going to take things into my own hands and let me just go to work and let me see what these companies are actually using. So I started doing technical support, and if y'all got your A plus, go ahead and get these technical support, and you're transitioning to another career. Go ahead and get these technical support, desktop support jobs, but don't stay there long. Do not stay there long. And like I said, the reason I say that is because these recruiters, when you apply, they're going to be looking at your resume and they're going to see, okay, yeah, you were a flight attendant, but now you want to do tech. You got to have some kind of story. Yeah, I want to do tech, because I've been, while I was doing that, I studied for this, and I was doing that, and I got the certification for this, and it's the technical support, desktop support, the skills that are easily transferable to those jobs are, if you were at a call center job, any type of call center job, like you can easily do help desk, desktop support, all that kind of work. And that's where I started. So I went to, doing technical support for some contract company that was doing technical support for Apple. So I got to see the hellish life of being a technical support representative. And it's not the life you want. But take it for what it is. Take it for what it is and learn. Learn. Because while I was there, I was able to, and it's just like a call center, but it's just tons of calls coming in. There's tons of calls coming in. But, you're able to now change your resume to say, okay, I'm a technical support advisor, and I'm dealing with all these technologies now. Now I know how to, troubleshoot Macs and Apple products, and any technology that you touch, you put that on your resume. What's going on, Queen Jam? Yes, tech support is no joke. Yes, yes, but they try to keep a lot of us. They try to keep a lot of us down there in these positions, and I've seen it happen so many times. Like, if y'all are in these technical support jobs, just don't get complacent. Because I've seen so many of us just get complacent, and we don't learn, and we stay at these jobs for 2 and 3 years, and no, don't, please don't do it. Um, and don't be afraid to break a contract. Like, some of these companies, they like to hire a lot of contract workers. They'll play that game with you too. And this is a good topic too. Which was some advice when I got into tech, was to start off getting contract jobs. Um, my first job, like, it was like a temporary type deal. So, like, I was doing temporary technical support for Apple. I did that for 3 months and I was done. Now, the benefit of that was, like I said, it was only $12.50 an hour, but they let us work up to 20 hours of overtime a week. So I was just killing them on the overtime because I was already used to working so much. Because hell, I'm working at Whataburger, and matter of fact, I think I was working at a burger place and Walmart at the same time. Just the lowest level of life. Like, um, so I'm already used to working. So hey, 20 hours of overtime, let me just eat that up. But yeah, technical support will burn you the hell out. So I actually got out of that, and I think I was doing Uber on the side at the time as well. I was doing Uber and Lyft, and um, so I just started Uber driving because I was like, man, I was driving all the way on the other side of town, to do this technical support job for $12.50 an hour. And I'm like, man, that's when Uber, first started blowing up, and that's when it was really good then because everybody wasn't driving for Uber. So I was like, man, let me just do this Uber thing because I was like, man, I'm making $1,000 a week just doing Uber. it was good like that. So, which was crazy because Uber actually gave me the leverage, and that's the thing about this new economy that we're in, and you know I don't recommend, being in that, Uber lifestyle, but that's what I had to do at the time when it was good. But what it did is um, is my screen okay? It seems like my screen paused. All right. All right. Yeah, I should have shot this on my iPad. I was trying to start this on my iPad first, but it just went live on my Mac. Can you speak about your experience with getting a search and how much the knowledge that you got from the search play into your current role? So, while I was at the help desk, I was actually, like I said, I was already, deep into learning about AWS at that time. So I got my AWS Solutions Architect Associate while I was at my second help desk job. But let me just run it back. So as I was doing the Uber, and I was making $1,000 a week, my next job calls me. This recruiter calls me about this next job, and this, working for this large bank that's down here that's, well known for their, technical, their technical jobs. So, but it was only a contract job. It was like 2 years. It was a 2-year contract, and after 2 years, you had to take 6 months off. But they were like, asking me what do I want, to make, and at that time I was doing $1,000 a week doing Uber. So I was like, I'm not coming back, I'm not doing nothing for less than, 18, or whatever. I don't know what I said, but they gave me $18.50 an hour to do remote support job at USAA. So I was like, coming from 1250, I'm like, okay, I can do that. Let me see if I can do that. At this point, I only had the A plus. So the A plus, and this is why I say like these CompTIA certs, um, they're only going to get you entry level jobs. And most of these people that are in these entry level jobs, they don't have certifications. So, I mean, it was very rare to meet anybody. Matter of fact, when I got my first technical support job, the guy that was the manager or the sysadmin, whatever, at this call center, he actually had the A plus, and he's the system administrator, or and I'm just a technical support guy with the A plus. I actually met another guy that he had the A plus, a network plus, and a security plus, and he's making $12.50 an hour at the help desk. Yeah, so I was like, it's time to get out of there. My resume is a mile long. Basically, had my own staffing agency. Hubby, we were. Yep. Yep. And that's another thing they tell you about these resumes. Don't make it too long, but you don't have to just make your resume one page neither. I see a lot of people try to cram everything into one page. Like, your resume could be 2 pages. I mean, it's not a big deal. I've never like, I didn't do anything special, like super super special to my resumes to get the kind of jobs that I've gotten. Um, as you get the skills, as you get the certifications, as you get on LinkedIn and post those skills, those certifications, those jobs are going to come to you. Like, I've had, like, the last 3 jobs I had, they just came to me. There's not, I can't say I was out just, searching. I was unemployed, searching for jobs, and, nobody would hire me. My motto is I was looking for a job when I got this job. That's my motto, you know. So, always be mindful of what's going on out there. Like, you don't have to, 1850 sounds good. I bet there's somewhere that'll pay you double that. What do I need to know to get double that? What do you want me to know? You want me to know what? You want me to know Salesforce? You want me to know AWS? Okay, let's learn it. But the certs, like I said, those CompTIA certs, they'll definitely kind of, try to hold you to the bottom with those certs. So the certifications were important to definitely, on your resume to get, at least a callback. That's why a lot of people, probably don't get callbacks because, they don't have those certifications. And a lot of companies, they're looking for certifications right now. They want, because, one thing, this is the thing. A lot of companies aren't going to invest a lot of time and money into training you. And let me repeat that. A lot of companies, and I'm talking about major companies that have millions of dollars, billions of dollars, are not going to invest the time into training you on a new technology. So what does that mean? How do you learn this new technology? How do you know that the company is going to the cloud? Like, how do you get? That's where you got to be nosy. you got to be nosy. I'm a nosy tech worker. When I got my tech jobs, I ain't just come in and just do my job. Like, I want to know what else is going. Like, I got access now to some things here. I can find out what's going on, what software this company is using, what software this company is thinking about using. Let me do my research here. But yeah, as I was doing my research, I definitely seen the business benefit of companies moving to the cloud. So, like, I was like cloud all the way. And I'm like, while I was at the help desk, I'm telling like people, especially my people, like, look, y'all need to get on this cloud. Y'all need to get on this AWS. I was able to convince, a few people, but for the most part, we just weren't there yet. Like, um, and I'm glad, like it. And there's one thing, like if other people aren't there yet, like, and you're there, like don't slow down. Like if I know AWS is going to be hot, and I'm in tech right now, and nobody knows about AWS, um, this is just a simple supply and demand. Like I'm gonna know by the time y'all find out and figure out what AWS is. I already got 3 certifications. You know, do you have a clearance? That's a good question. So, my second job, my third IT job, which was on a DoD contract, um, I had to get a public trust clearance. So, um, like which is crazy because yeah, I got interviewed and all that stuff, but I never got any information back on whether or not my clearance got approved or whatnot. So like I can't tell you. Like I was still working, so I'm assuming it got approved, and that was a job at that time I had to have a Security Plus for. So um, that's when I got my Security Plus certification. Um, the way I got that job is, like I said, you had to get your Security Plus. It was one of those jobs where you had to get your Security Plus in 90 days, but you had to have your A plus already, to get the job. So um, that's how I got that job. But yeah, with that job, a lot of DoD jobs, you're going to have to get a clearance. Um, most companies, um, they'll just sponsor the clearance for you. That's something that you got to do. But for all the people that are coming out of the military, I know it's a lot of us in the military too. Um, 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, you already have clearances. So people coming out of the military, that's an easy transition into tech. Easy. I don't care what you were doing in the military. If you were just folding towels in the military, if you got a clearance, that's, and you can put some skills, some IT skills with that clearance, preferably AWS. Just give them the bank account and routing number and tell them where to deposit the money, because that's you know the government needs all kind of. There's a lot of top secret SCI cloud jobs, um, all kind of IT jobs, but definitely in the cloud. So yeah, for that job, I did have to get a public trust, um, and that was a help desk job. That was actually the job I actually got my first 2 cloud certifications, and this company actually, which was funny because like I said, I'm on this AWS journey, and nobody's talking about AWS. Now, this is before the pandemic hit, right? And this is like a company. We were doing desktop support for the global, for the Defense Health Agency. So, like all the military bases, um, hospitals, we were doing technical support for them. And this was like a contract company. So I think they had a 2-year contract. Um, that was like my first experience using a CAT card, which is weird for all y'all that have those government jobs. You get one of those government jobs. It's a lot different. So they give you a CAT card. You got to stick this card into your laptop to log in. It's weird. But yeah, so I got that. The company I was with at the time, they came out with a certification program called a strategic certification program, and they said that um, they basically they basically wanted to cater their business around, this this whole cloud boom and all these companies migrating to the cloud. So they came out with this program, to pay people cash bonuses and stock in a company to get these certifications, these cloud certifications that I was already studying for. So I knew then. I was like, okay, strategic certification program, and they're giving $2,000 cash bonuses to get the AWS associates and $2,000 stock in a company. It was like uh, a $5,000 or $10,000 cash bonus if you got the professional certifications. They were like AWS, Microsoft Azure, ServiceNow. Um, yeah. So I was like, man, let me get this. Let me get this. Let me get this. Um, I had to take the Solutions Architect Associate AWS exam 6 times before I passed it. I had to take that AWS exam 6 times while I was at the help desk before I passed it. And I still had to come back to work, and that's the thing that sucks when you get these certifications. When you don't pass and you gotta come back to work on Monday, but when you do pass and you gotta come back to work on Monday, you're like, about to be out of here, y'all. Y'all better soak up the knowledge y'all getting from me right now, because I'm about to be out of here. But nah, I really, because I think one of the conditions of getting the cert is you had to stay with it or keep the money. You had to stay with the company for whatever so long. Uh, but after I got my cloud certifications, I was applying for these cloud jobs within the company, and they weren't hiring me. Like, they want to keep you at the help desk. What got you into tech? Um, my wanting to not be broke anymore. That's what got me into tech. Um, it's just basically your will to not want to get paid less than what you're worth. Um, like I said, when I got my first IT job, I did have the A+, but I didn't have any experience. I was, like I said, I was working at this burger place, and I literally went from making $12.50 an hour at the burger place to $12.50 an hour at my first IT job at this doing this technical support. Um, but I just had to keep working. So I had kids. I got $3. Like, I got a family life, so I got responsibilities. I can't just you know go to school and not not work. So definitely got to keep working. Can you? Yeah, definitely got to keep working. But yeah, so like I just seen the writing. I just seen the writing on the wall, and with this pandemic hitting like it did, like everything that I thought about getting into tech, like, actually came true in this pandemic. And like just knowing when to pivot, y'all, just like knowing when to move, like that's the most important part. Now, honestly, that's an important part of me even making this video tonight. Like I I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but you know, um, the tech game is moving so quick. I'm trying to get to where I want to be in tech. So let me hunker down. On all of this learning stuff. And I'll tell y'all one thing, like when you're at the beginning of your tech career, it's gonna be all sorts of stuff that you're gonna like you're going to hear about. Um, but do your research, and that's what I'm here for. I've done a lot of research, so you ain't going to have to do as much research as I had to do. But do your research on what's hot. Like, definitely know what the top 15 IT certifications are. Like, definitely know about that. Like, let me even talking about that. Like, let me just bring up the top 15 IT certifications. Yes, this is how I started my research. Like, I don't know, like why I made this decision to get into tech. Number one, I was doing my research and I'm like, these jobs pay this? What? Man, these are life-changing salaries. Like, you wonder why some people are living so good in life and why they, are free to do whatever they want. You know, if they're in tech and they're in some of these positions, you can understand why they're able to do what they're able to do. Um, and I want to be able to do what I'm able to do. And I know a lot of y'all want to be able to do what y'all are able to do because they're trying to inflation, like it's gonna be hard to buy a house without, 30, $40,000 down, 50, $60,000 down. This ain't our parents' generation no more. You're not gonna buy no house for $50,000. So these are the type of salaries we need to be looking at right here. So looking at the top 15 certifications, and the first one is a Google Certified Professional Data Engineer. Average salary $171,749. Now, when y'all see those salaries, you know, don't get too excited like, oh, if I get the certification, I'm gonna make this. No, there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. You want to look at that certification and you want to research the skills that go around that certification. And this was the mistake I made when I got my cloud certifications. I was thinking, oh, y'all, I should immediately get a cloud job, and I'm at the help desk and I'm applying to all these cloud jobs after I got my AWS certifications, and nobody, this is unfortunately we decided to move on with another candidate. So those are the lines that you're going to hear a lot. Get used to hearing it. You're going to hear it a lot. You're black. Get used to it. Unfortunately, we decided to move on with another candidate. All right. Wow. I know there were so many candidates that had AWS certifications. And then you look on these job boards and you see the same job posted. Like these people will lie to you because you just may not have the experience, and this is what I tell you, like they want to see you doing a position of the job that you're applying for. So if I want to be a cloud engineer and I'm just at the help desk, yeah, I got these AWS certifications, but they want to keep me at the help desk. They don't want to feel like they got to teach me anything, or they want to keep me at the help desk. So I see a lot of people get in that trap. They'll get the certifications, and they still can't get the jobs because they want to keep us at this help desk. It's not that there's so many great experienced candidates applying for these same jobs that you're applying for. That there is no labor shortage in IT. Honestly, if you ask me, there is a labor shortage, but there's more of a skill shortage than there is a labor shortage. We got people that that'll do IT, but they don't know everything. We got cloud engineers at some of these major companies that don't have cloud certifications. We got people in cybersecurity departments on cybersecurity teams that don't have security certifications. I think the head of Equifax, matter of fact, their big security breach, last year or a couple years ago, they didn't have no security certification. So for us, and this is why I say we got to have a talk for us. For us, certifications are going to matter, as you get into tech, but you're going to find out, like, don't go crazy getting the certifications. Like, don't go try to get like 5 and 6 and 7 certifications, before you get the job that you want to get. Like, these companies that you get into, they'll pay for the certification that you need. This company that I'm in right now, I was in orientation for 2 days, and after the orientation, they put us on another training, an agile training, for 2 days after that, and got us certified on agile. I didn't ask for that, but I'll take it, I'll put that on my resume. So, get your first couple of certifications, but after that, get in these companies and let them pay for these certifications. Most of these companies have certification programs. They have resources within the company that you can use to, like LinkedIn Learning, like A Cloud Guru, like Pluralsight, like Wiz Labs. If you want to pass the AWS certifications, Wiz Labs is a great resource in taking a practice test. I still got to take that first AWS certification 6 times. I got Wiz Labs after taking it my 5th time. I found Wiz Labs and took those practice tests on there, and those practice tests got me more prepared for the real exam. But these AWS exams, they're not hard. Like, if you take these CompTIA exams, the CompTIA exams are way harder than the AWS exams, because the CompTIA exams are going to have simulations on it. And one thing about simulations, when you're transitioning into a tech job and you haven't done tech, simulations will jack you up. I don't have this stuff at home, so yeah, if you can do something without having to do simulations, great. What's your schedule like for work, learning, family, job, study after work, weekends? Oh man. So I'm in a remote position right now, thank God. Not just 9 to 5 position. So after that, now my life is going to definitely change, because I'm going to be doing a lot more content. So instead of, maybe what I was doing before at night, I'm going to be doing some content, and definitely putting that knowledge that I know about this tech game back into our community, so we can make better decisions and get to where we want to be at. I'm off on the weekends, so I plan on doing some boot camps on the weekends. So that's what I'm gearing up for right now. Maybe do some AWS, some DevOps boot camps on the weekends, and kind of fill that time in there. But Yeah, I mean, I got three girls. My two oldest girls, I got 17-year-old, 19-year-old. Um, one's in their senior year of high school. 19-year-old graduated. Um, yeah, and I got 7-year-old. So and they're all girls. So um, and I have full custody of my two oldest girls since they were 4 and 6 years old. So I literally um, yeah, I had all while I was trying to get these certifications, I had all that going on. Just had the 7-year-old when she was like 3 years old. So, had two teenagers, and yeah, all that going on. And I think I had two jobs at the time too. Um, so yeah, you can, if you want to do it, you can definitely do it. Um, you just can't waste time. Like we just waste a lot of time. Like, and yeah, I've done it. We've all done it. We've all been in pointless conversations, or just we watch stuff that just wastes time. Um, and we don't get any value out of it. You'll be surprised like how many YouTube videos people watch that don't give you any value. But I can show you some YouTubers right now, and you can walk away with some value out of what they're saying. And yeah, you definitely want to follow and Dewan Lightfoot. That's another brother that I started watching when I got into tech, and yeah, um, we're just gonna motivate each other. But yeah, it's definitely a better work-life balance now than before when I was not in tech. Um, Man, and y'all are. This is like, whoo. Let me be real. For Black people, this is like being in tech is like being a free slave. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be. If you've been in one of those positions where like are working in one of those companies, where they gotta micromanage everything, and you gotta ask to use the bathroom, yeah, it's definitely a different life. You're definitely gonna have more time for yourself, and as you increase your income, you don't have to, work, two and three jobs. Because I always had to work. I always had two and three. I always had two and three jobs. Like, and I never understood like why I gotta have two and three jobs. Like, I gotta have two jobs plus I gotta Uber. I gotta do Lyft. I gotta do what the heck, you know? Um, and that alone, like when you're such on the lower level of the income scale and you have to do all of that, it just takes away from the time that you actually have to learn. So that was like that was like a conflicting like resistance right there. Like the fact that, I had to work so much just to make ends meet while I wanted to change my career, which meant I had to, study. I had to take some time aside and, get this. That's probably why I failed the AWS certification so many times because I just had so much going on, I wasn't actually doing that at my job. I was at the help desk. I'm not doing anything with cloud. Nobody knows about the cloud. Nobody cares about the cloud. And I'm over here trying to take these certifications. But then the pandemic hit, and that DoD job that I had, they actually went to AWS Connect service to set up virtual learning. Not virtual learning, virtual learning, virtual contact center, virtual call center. So we got to work from home. I'm like, when the pandemic hit, I was like, we're in this call center, right? And we're sitting, right next to each other. And like I said, I pay attention to the news, right? So, I'm watching what's going on in China, and I'm like, they building a hospital in 10 days. Um, I think it's something going on. I think it's something a little more serious because nobody was taking it serious at first. It was weird. It was a weird vibe when the pandemic first started. I was like, nobody's really like, I'm going to work sitting next to these people, people coughing, and I'm like focusing on every cough now. I'm like stuff I didn't pay attention to before. I'm like, man, I'm on the phone with cousin guys coughing over here. Like, yeah, we need to. I'm gonna be at home until y'all get this figured out because they were like, when the pandemic hit out, like nobody had their stuff together. Like nobody was like, oh, they were just set up to, flip the switch and y'all can work from home. Like some of these companies, like they really like frowned upon working from home. Like, they want to micromanage. They don't want you to have your cell phone. They want to micromanage everything. And that's why I quit that other company before I got that job because they told us they were actually letting us work from home at that bank remote support job, but then they told us we had to come back to work because some people weren't doing what they were supposed to do. So I was like, man, I had like an hour commute to work, so I quit that job. I'm not commuting an hour to work for $18.50 an hour. It sounded nice, but once I looked at my check and the taxes, it wasn't too much different than what I was making at $12.50, with the overtime. It's just working less hours. But yeah, I had to. When that pandemic hit, it definitely changed. It definitely changed everything. They were struggling and probably paid for their at least decades in the back. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Hey, now you bring that up. That's funny that you bring that up because the company I was with at the time, and it was this, like I said, it was this help desk job for DoD. We were actually going on base, which was crazy. Like I got to go on base every day to do my IT job. Oh my god. Okay, so but the company I was with at the time was actually building another facility, like a new center for us to, to move to, like in the future, like a year from that date or whatever. I'm sure it's completed now, but yeah, they were building us a new center, and then the pandemic hit, and we were able to work from home. So they went to an AWS service that nobody cared about AWS then, but now when we got to work from home, now when the pandemic hit, oh y'all do know about AWS. Oh, somebody knows about AWS. Can I get on that team? Can I? Nope. So at least I would say the good thing about that is at least that job let me at least touch AWS service and not saying like I had anything like I can mess with anything, like I couldn't change anything, but hey, I can put on my resume that we were using AWS service. So you touch the technology, you put that on your resume. You take a training, you do some like at least Splunk. Splunk's a popular resource. Salesforce is a popular platform. You go through some of these trainings, put that stuff on your resume. One good thing about working for that USAA, that company I was working for, we got to mess with a lot of technology. So that's when I learned about VMware, virtual machines. I learned about Cisco, switches and routers. And I was actually, to be honest with you, I was actually going to go that networking route. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I was going to go that networking route because it seemed like that's where they wanted to, that was the path to greatness. But as I started, doing a lot more research into the cloud, I'm like, man, these people that are doing the network engineering, they're gonna have to know about cloud anyways. So how about I just go heavy on cloud and I just know the networking stuff. I don't need to get a certification. I just know it. I know enough to, I'm not gonna be, you know, racking and stacking switches and routers, even though there was a project at Amazon where we were going to be having to do that, but I quit before that. I was like, man, I'm not going to be racking and stacking nothing. But I would say the important thing about like knowing about networking in general when it comes to the cloud is just knowing your ports. Knowing what DNS is, just knowing your ports, like, and I mean the rest you can pretty much pick up. You don't need the CCNA to be a successful engineer. But like I said, a lot of companies they didn't want to go to this work from home, and they are not liking it right now. But it definitely kind of backed into the whole cloud theme and why we need to get these cloud certifications. Because a lot of people aren't going to be, they're not going to go home and do this research. So we can catch up real quick. We can catch them real quick. We started behind, but we can catch them real quick. And like I said, let's go back to the top 15 certifications. So Google Certified Professional Data Engineer. Dang, it's actually two Google's. Number 2 is Google Certified Professional Cloud Architect is the second top paying certification. And number 3, coming in at number 3, AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate at $159,000 a year. There's some people in our community that aren't even making like a quarter of that. Like, that's like, that could be like making like 4 people's salary, with just one job. There's a new one on here called Nutanix Certified Professional Multi-Cloud Infrastructure. Okay. Project Management Professional. CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional. The things that are going to be big right now is cloud, security, data, cloud security data. Yeah. You got Microsoft Azure Administrator on here. I'm surprised the MCSE is still on here, Windows Server. CompTIA Security Plus is number 15. If I was going to start, like, if I had to get a CompTIA certification, I would actually just get the Security Plus. If you're gonna start at CompTIA, just get Security Plus. You only got to take one certification, number 1, and number 2. That's the qualifying certification you need to get any DoD job, like a level 1, level 2 DoD job. And you can go up from there. There's money in DoD jobs too. So definitely, if y'all have military experience and you're transitioning, into tech, coming from the military, definitely get your Security Plus and get your AWS. The government is moving a lot of stuff to the cloud, a lot of stuff, and like there's cloud wars going on. Like Microsoft Azure, like they're fighting for this money the government is getting ready to just unleash, to move their stuff to the cloud. And not only that, the government is slower to move on stuff than the private sector is. So this stuff is already happening in the private sector. So, there's still a lot of opportunity for us because we can learn these skills, go get in the private sector, get the experience, go to the public sector, get a clearance, go to the public sector and, um, the problem is, some of the public sector jobs don't always pay unless you got a top secret clearance like that. Um, Actually, well, the help desk job. So the help desk job I had when I got on the DoD, they actually started me off at like 25. So that was at that time that was like good for a help desk job. But yeah, yeah, you have a good one. Thank y'all for coming in, Queen Jam. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this more often. We're gonna be doing this more often. Not, and I'll have the live chat going so y'all can ask y'all's questions. And yeah, we'll get more people in here. We'll get more people in here. But I don't want to give y'all too much. I don't want to put y'all to sleep tonight. So I'm just gonna leave on this. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Now was the time to pivot. I mean, during the pandemic was a time to pivot, honestly. But if you are pivoting, um, and you are getting into tech, um, start start with the cloud. Like let's start with the cloud and let's take off from there. When I say start with the cloud, AWS has the top cloud provider right now. Google Cloud has the top certifications right now. You want to be multi-cloud. You want to know a little bit about AWS. You want to know a little bit about Google, and you want to know a little bit about Microsoft Azure, and put that all together. Get some certifications. You don't have to get 16 certifications. Now, at first, when the AWS came out with the certification, I was like, man, I'm getting all 13 of these certifications. I'm about to get a certification every single month. And no, boo boo, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't wear yourself out doing that. Yeah. I mean, unless they're going to pay you $1 million, a year, to have all those certifications, let's just get the certifications that count. Because number one, they don't want to pay us for the certification that we have now. So, you definitely want to be applying for no job with 13 certifications and they offer you less than $500,000. So I actually listened to a sister on Tech Tuesdays, another channel I watched, Erica Williams, another YouTuber. And she had a sister on there. She said somebody told her at a conference, for every certification you get, you should add $50 an hour to your salary. And I'm like, I'm underpaid. But we'll talk about that later. Like I said, I'm still new to the game. When you're coming from such a low, we come from such a low salary to begin with. Like once you get those first, offers, and it's like 50,000. You're only making 24,000. They offer you 50,000. You're like, okay, well, that's great because you're making double what you're making, but it's still not good. But it's better than where you were. You're making progress. So if you gotta take the 50, take the 50. But don't take the 50 and stay there for 5 years. Take the 50. Learn what you gotta learn in 3 months. Get out of there. Go get 70. Learn what you gotta learn. For a few months. Get out of there. Go get 100. Learn what you gotta learn for a few months. Get paid for your skills. Every skill that you stack, make sure that you're going to get paid for that skill. We don't want to. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn in tech, but honestly, if you have a solid foundation in the cloud, if you have a solid foundation in Linux, the coding, I just learned how to code because from just playing with the cloud. Like that's just something that, and not to say that like my job is not like primarily like I'm coding every single day. I'm not like developing apps, coding. I'm more on the infrastructure side at my job, where we're using infrastructure as code. So I'm learning YAML, learning JSON, um, learning Terraform, um, and just learning how that's structured and being able to, write code like that. Um, it's many different ways. Tech isn't all about knowing how to code. So, um, which honestly I think is the harder way to come into tech. If you're gonna if you're gonna say you're gonna come into tech and you're gonna come through a coding, you want to be a software developer and you're gonna come through a coding program. Be ready for those coding challenges when you get to the interview. Um, be ready. I've heard a lot of people talk about, these coding challenges. They asking about algorithms and data structures, and I'm like, wow, because they shouldn't ask me none of that when, in my interview, because I wouldn't be talking to y'all right now as a software engineer at one of the top consulting companies right now. Um, but yeah, just knowing the other technologies that go around the cloud gave me the ability to expand my field of what I can talk about and what I can do beyond, all I can do is code. And now you have to judge me on my coding skills, whether or not, I can do this job or not. And that's just a hard way to go. Like I'm like, I understand the code, like GitHub, Visual Studio, like I understand all of it, but I'm not going to be coding for 3 hours, every single night. Like, no. Um, but infrastructure as code, I love that. Oh, Terraform, yes, all day. Let's go. And that's where it's going. Automation. Like they're already teaching computers how to write their own code. Like AI is learning how to code. So um, that's a topic we'll talk about. Later on. These low code, no code platforms that are coming out. That'll be one topic. But yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket just trying to learn how to code or just trying to learn like one specific thing in tech. You kind of got to spread your basket wide and learn about these different technologies that revolve around the cloud. Um, and with that, like I said, I've already been on here for an hour and 21 minutes, so I don't want to like put y'all to sleep. It's a lot to talk about in tech, but definitely we'll keep this conversation going. Follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, set your notifications, share this. Follow me on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn, Rashad Morton. Follow me on Twitter at coolcap_12. We have a Telegram channel, Black Tech Networks Telegram channel. If y'all have any questions about tech, y'all can jump in there. We got a lot of, we got a lot of good people in there asking some good questions and getting some good value in that group. And we're just gonna support each other. Like we haven't made it until we all can say we made it. So like I'm, you could be LeBron James, but I don't see how he could say he made it when our people are standing in line for gas in New Orleans and they've been without power for 6 days. I can't see how any black person that has money right now could be happy about what's going on to our people that don't have money. So, I definitely want to make my impact and let's save some lives on our end, because for every person we get into tech with a 6-figure salary, that's one person we ain't got to worry about, being stuck in a situation you can't get yourself out of, yeah, and we'll help each other get there. But yeah, it's good talking to y'all. Thanks everybody that came in on the chat, and y'all have a happy Labor Day, and I will see y'all on the come up.